Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 will take us to around the 12th of February, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. The extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run around a couple of weeks. I'm going to have a look at the CFS-V2 at the end of the video. For the next 4 weeks, which will take us pretty much to the end of February, let's be honest. So I shall get on with that for you very shortly. The first video release day was the ECM WF 30-day look ahead, so that's a month-ahead look ahead with the ECM for the UK and for Europe as well. So have a look at that one if you'd like to do that. Tonight we're going to have another look at the 12Z, of course, as we're at this very, very critical point in terms of beastly Easterlies and all of that kind of thing. So a 12Z look ahead will be released probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish tonight, I would have thought. Let's get on with it then. So there has been a lot of chopping and changing again overnight with the GFS in terms of this beastly easterly backing off. As we go through, and I'll talk through all the data in a moment. Get started our central temperature though, so just confirming what we said yesterday, that the CT for January has ended up at 3.1. That's an anomaly of 0.7 of a degree below the 61 to 1990 average, over a degree below the 81 to 2010 average. So yeah, our first month of 2021 comes out colder than average in the CT region, and is the coldest January for 11 years. You have to go back to January 2010 to find a January colder than this January just gone. February for the first day is standing at 3.2, so virtually identical to January CT really. That's an anomaly again of around 1 degree below average. That is provisional to the first day of February. It's going to lift up over the next couple of days because we are in for some milder weather, especially today, but also tomorrow will be quite mild through the CT region. So that'll lift up into, certainly into the 4s anyway, maybe a bit higher than that as we go through the next 2 or 3 days. If we get wind into ESO, and it's a big if at the moment, but if we get wind into ESO over the weekend through to next week, it will drop away once again. There is a big contrast in temperatures today, and the dividing line is a band of rain, sleet and snow. So here we are with a radar picture and weather outlook showing a lot of wet weather across northern England, just leaving Northern Ireland now, moving up into southern Scotland. Behind that, it's turned dry across England and Wales, but there is some very heavy showers heading in towards Wales, even some rumours of thunder mixed in with those at the moment. Adding on the precipitation type, you can see that a lot of this precipitation moving into Scotland is snow. There's been big snowfalls across southern and now increasingly towards central parts of Scotland. And it's dividing like very mild area in the south and much colder area in the north. So look at this temperature contrast that we've got today. This is from XC Weather. Look at this, freezing. 0 degrees across many of these stations in the north. Leeds and Bradford are just freezing. Aboyne at just freezing again, and also Spadadam is at freezing as well. And even stations aren't freezing, they're only like 1-2 degrees at best. So it's really cold in the north, but you only have to go like 1,500 miles south and you run into exceptionally mild temperatures. Look at these temperatures, 1355 Fahrenheit flashing away in many of these stations in the south. Go a little bit further. So we've got 13 just here at Oxford. Go a bit further north to Churchill, Orford, it's 11. Go a little bit further north of Sweetsbury, it's just 5. And go further northwards of that, only 2 at Doncaster. Huge temperature contrast today from north to south. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks on Aberdeen today. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Aberdeen. We're already cold there at the moment. It's going to get colder in the north as we go into the weekend and the early part of next week, becoming bitterly cold in the north. Now, as we run through to the middle part of February, we see a recovery in temperature beginning to take place then. Although there is a lot of scatter. Got the mild ensemble members down here, got the cold ensemble members up here. There's a lot of precipitation to come as well. Look at all this rainfall to come during this period, but it's going to be significantly colder than average. So that is not only rainfall, that could also be snowfall as well. Of course, Aberdeen is right on the coast. So some of this will be rain, some of it will be snow. I think a lot of it will be snow, though. Scotland is going to have a lot of snow, I think, over the next few days. The question is whether that snow gets further down into the south. Through to the middle part of February, again, a lot of precipitation then, and as it's going milder, we may be going more towards rain rather than snow. Have a look at what's happening in London, though. This is the ensemble for London. You see there, nowhere near as cold for London. So starting off quite close to average with upper air temperatures at the moment. It does become colder into the weekend for a while, but not anywhere near as cold as GFS ensembles were showing like yesterday. We do still have some ensemble members that are going very cold. But even just here are going down into the freezer, going down to -10, -15 at 828 degrees. Definitely for the south, the GFS and its ensembles have backed off the idea of a beastly easing and is restricting it at the moment to the north. Temperature anomalies from the 2nd to 10th of February. Colder than average in the northern half of the country. A little bit milder than average in England and Wales. Unbelievable compared to what we're seeing yesterday. Notice many parts of Europe looking very mild across central, western, and southern, particularly southeastern Europe, but really cold up in the north. We're sort of in a battleground there. So we've got these really cold temperatures up here. We've got these very mild temperatures from here. We're sort of in this boundary between the two. Will it be the very cold air from the north that wins out? Or will it be these milder temperatures from the south that win out? Or will it be a mix of both? Will it be the cold temperatures that win out for the north, but mild temperatures that win out for the south? Precipitation anomalies are above average in most parts of the country. A wetter than average week coming up. If it gets cold, that will produce a lot of snow. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that we're bringing milder southwesterlies into the south today. So that's the reason temperatures are into the teens Celsius at the moment. In the north, though, we've still got those cold easterlies. That's the reason it's snowing across the north of England, across the north of northern England and into Scotland. Right, so let's go through these generic charts then. These are all important. This is how the UK Met is looking for Friday. This is our trigger low. Been talking about this a lot in the videos lately. Got to get the trigger low south. Really want to take that down to Biscay to get wind into the east. Let's see what the UK Met does with the trigger low. So as we go through into Saturday, that low pressure is drifting southwards. Colder east winds digging in to the northern half of the country at midnight on Saturday. And we're all into cold easterly winds by midnight on Sunday. And then we keep it cold as we go through into midnight on Monday as far as we go with the UK Met. That little trigger low sort of pivoting around France and is now sitting over low countries. Could be bringing in a lot of snow with those easterly winds to eastern parts of the country. You would not be ruling out significant snow coming in on these bitterly cold easterly winds on the UK Met. We also have to keep an eye on this low, of course, down here that may try moving to that cold air, and that could be another route to snow. But anyway, the UK Met is cold and wintry, with a bitter easterly wind at 144 hours as far as it goes. Right, have a look at the GFS then. So again, we've got a trigger low over top of the country on Friday at 6 a.m. What does the 6 then GFS do with that trigger low? It moves it southwards. We start to pull some colder air in from the east on Saturday. There's the upper air temperatures showing that most parts of the country are within cold air, not a beach from the east. That's where we've got these blue colours just here of Scandinavia. If you want a beach from the east, you want to get those blue colours over North Sea into the UK. So this is not a beach from the east at 6 a.m. on Saturday, but it is quite cold. Notice most parts of Europe are looking very mild here. We're drawing the air up from North Africa. So, for example, we've got the 10 Celsius isotherm pushing into some parts of France. You've got the 5 Celsius isotherm across the middle of France and the middle of Germany as well. That is a very large temperature contrast. And what the GFS does with that, it starts to develop low pressure. So as we go through to Saturday, we are mostly within a cold easterly wind, particularly from the northern half of the country, but even down in the south, I think it's quite cold. This is the trigger low over the Low Countries. Again, by minus 10 Celsius isotherm into far east of Scotland. Otherwise, most places are looking sort of modestly cold. Nowhere near as cold as the GFS has been, because we're not pushing in like a proper, straightforward easterly wind. But it's still pretty cold on Sunday. But the upshot of this temperature contrast is to begin to develop low pressure. So by 6 a.m. on Monday, we've got a deep low with a large warm sector coming up from the south. Moving into that cold area, it might deliver snow through the early part of next week. But the upshot is that with these low pressures moving in, we never really get that easterly through, except across Scotland. So that's how the upper air temperatures look for 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Most parts of England and Wales within mild air at this point. Cold air restricted to like northern Scotland. As we go beyond that up towards day 10, it's just an Atlantic onslaught really with the GFS 6Z, keeping it unsettled and largely on the mild side as well. So the GFS and also with Synchronix ensembles have backed away big time from the idea of a beast from the east over weekend and into next week. Beyond that, into extended range, keep it unsettled, low pressure continues to plough in across the country. Right, that's a GFS done. Now, have a look at the GEM. So here we go. On Friday, trigger low is over Northern Ireland. That low pressure drops southwards over the weekend and moves away to the east. In come those easterly winds, and unlike what the GFS does, we start to pull in increasingly cold easy winds as we go from weekend into next week. Notice jet streams further southwards and taking these areas of low pressure further southwards as well. So that does allow us to pull in proper easterlies as we go through the weekend into the early part of next week with the GM. Minus 10 Celsius isotherm much further southwards and westwards, pushing in through the country. Those east winds would deliver snow to many of us by the early part of next week. Tuesday, this low pressure over northern France is trying to move up into the south, could deliver some significant snow for southern parts of the country. The main thing, though, is that it continues to be bitterly cold with a real easterly blast through much of the country. And the GM keeps it cold really right the way up to the very end, actually. Moving this low pressure further northwards, increasing the risk of significant snow for England and Wales through the course of next week as that low pressure runs into that bitterly cold air being fed in from the east. That's how the upper air temperatures look. Still bitterly cold in the north, a little bit less cold down the south by the end of next week. But again, there would be snow involved in that. This is how Icon is looking. This is the high resolution model from Germany. So again, we've got that low pressure. The trigger low is over Northern Ireland on Friday. Into the weekend, that drops away to the south. In come the easterly winds, much more straightforwardly compared to what the GFS is showing, with low pressure in the west and also to our south. Easterly winds blasting across the country through the weekend into the early part of next week. Minus 10 Celsius isotherm. This is a beast from the east type temperature, leveling at minus 10 at 850 HPA. So yeah, bitterly cold air coming in from the east through weekend into next week. It will be snow shower being dragged in on these easterly winds as well. That's Tuesday, midnight on Tuesday. Looking at that, bitterly cold, minus 10 Celsius isotherm through the country. And as far as we go with the Icon is to 180 hours, which gets us to midday on Tuesday, and that's Tuesday 9th of February, and we're still looking bitterly cold then. In fact, the cold looks like it's intensifying. Look how deep cold is over Germany, for example. And that's all coming our way on those easy winds. So the Icon is very, very cold, starting weekend and intensifying into next week. And then the ECMWF also has that low pressure over top of the country on Friday. Still hanging around midnight on Saturday, but eventually slips away to the south. In come the easterly winds from Saturday through to Sunday. We start to bring bitterly cold air in from the east. Notice that push of warmer air from the south is much much further eastwards with the ECM compared to where the GFS has it. That is one major difference. And then, of course, in come those bitterly cold east winds. It's midnight on Monday. Again, proper easterlies across the country. Low pressure is over low countries. That might provide more general snow into the southeast. Rare temperatures looking very cold. -10 Celsius iceberg pushing through the country. And by this time next week, again, the easterly winds are there, moving through the country. The air is originating with those easterly winds from around here. So back into like the Urals, sweeping across Europe on those easterlies. And this is sort of true beach from east type stuff. -10 Celsius isotherm is pushed through the country. And on these east winds, we'll be bringing lots of heavy snow showers into the east as well. The easterly winds continue through towards the day 8, 9, 10 period. This is Wednesday, 10th of February. Still looking bitterly cold there with those easterly winds. Beginning to lose east a little bit by day 10, but still very cold with the upper air temperatures. That's how we're going to get to day 10 under a ridge of high pressure. By that point, low pressure in the Atlantic, possibly going to try and move in and displace that cold air. But at this point, it's drier, but it is still very cold, particularly for southern and eastern parts of the country. The beast is unleashed, therefore, with the UK Met, with the GEM, with the Icon, and the ECMWF. The beast is not unleashed with the GFS or its ensembles, except in the far northeast of Scotland. So the GFS looks quite isolated on this, but it does not mean that it's wrong. We may, in tonight's model update, and I will do a trials update tonight, we may see these other models, backing away from this beastly easterly idea, as the GFS has done. Conversely, we might see the GFS begin to pick up and run with it again. So it's all to be revealed, all to play for. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen with the beast from the east. Are we going to have it? Are we not going to have it? Let me know. I might even do a little poll on the community page later. Right, this is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. It's going to look very wintry, of course, from a weekend onwards. At the moment, snow is in the north. It's too mild in the south for snow. Heavy rain there across the south and southeast. Tomorrow, overnight, tonight and through tomorrow, by the way. Snow continues up across many parts of Scotland. Then we go through into the end of the week. The low pressure will start to drift southwards. Colder air begins to get dragged in from the east. Snow turning up across parts of Northern England. Lots of snow in the North Sea as well. And this snow then pushes down the eastern side over the weekend as we start to bring in those bitterly cold east winds. So east parts of the country start to see a lot of heavy snow piling in from the east. And then, of course, we've got lots of snow showers coming in. Now these models won't show up snow showers all that well, but you can see, for example, here, there is a suggestion of a snow streamer setting up there from like Denmark, across the North Sea, into Lincolnshire, possibly into East Anglia. Could come down into the Midlands as well. So and again, perhaps another streamer setting up here in the southeast, and another heat streamer there through each part of Scotland. So that's the kind of thing you look for when you go into those easterly winds. And snow showers will generally be a lot more widespread, particularly bringing -10 Celsius iceberg. Snow showers will generally be a lot more widespread than the models indicate. So snowy easterly winds and bitterly cold starting at the weekend, going into next week as well. And then, of course, by day 10, we're beginning to get a bit of a ridge going. So the snow showers begin to ease off, but it's bitterly cold, and there will be some severe overnight frost as well. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 12th of February. So we have 32 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure blocking to the northwest. Low pressure is to our south and east. Winds are coming in from an easterly or a northeasterly direction. So going to be cold, and that does include the control and the operational run. 19 with high pressure again blocking around Green, but also raising the heights over France a little bit. Low pressure to our west, a slightly less cold west-southwesterly is coming in then. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This will go to the 17th of February. 25 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure around Greenland, low pressure from the Atlantic into the UK. So you're going to be unsettled, maybe a little bit milder with that. Winds a bit more westerly. 11 with high pressure ridging through the country up to the north, up to northern blocking. So that's anticyclone and will probably be quite frosty and cold. 11 with low pressure away to our northwest. Winds will be in from a west-southwest direction. That's unsettled and milder. And then these 4 here are the coldest option with high pressure in the Norwegian Sea. Winds coming around from the east. And so that's just maintaining a cold, potentially bitterly cold, easterly wind, really. So there's a few options there to turn things milder into the second half of February. Finally, CFS V2 means a 500 millibar heights broken down to week periods. The first week period will take us from the 2nd to the 8th of February. The coming week will have high pressure blocking around Greenland. Low pressure will be across the north and west of Europe. Winds will be in from a northeast direction. CFS will be cold and wintry for the coming week. Even colder and even more wintry for week 2, which is the night to the 15th of February. Masses of northern blocking extending back into the Arctic. Low pressure to our east and south. Winds again in from a very cold east or northeasterly direction. Week 3 is going to be the 16th to 22nd of February. Again, high pressure towards Greenland. Trough low pressure across Scandinavia. Winds are going to be in from the north, so that's keeping things cold there for the 3rd week. And then week 4 is looking like bad. It's the 23rd of February to the 1st of March. Big old Scandi high backing into western Russia. Also high pressure in the North Atlantic going up towards southern Greenland. Through here, there's probably going to be a trough, I would have thought. Trough of low pressure. And the jet stream probably doing something a bit like that. So potentially could still be cold even into week 4, but maybe less so compared to earlier weeks. So it's all to be revealed, it's all to play for in terms of the beastly east, and of course we're going to keep you updated at GWV over the coming days. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tell your friends, family, everybody else about GWV. Get them to subscribe. We are on the grind to 11k subs. And thank you so much for doing that. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think. If you subscribe, you'll be able to see future weather content from GWV. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. That's it, then. That's your 10 to 14 day. And what do we make of all that lot? I wonder what you're going to make of it all. GFS reverse ferreting on the beast from the east. The other Mars really going for it. You know, it's all to play for, and we shall see how it all works out. We're going to be back later on with a quick zip through the 12Z. Once again, will the ECM and so on, Icon and all those models, will they back off the easterly and go for GFS, or will we see the GFS shifting colder tonight? Or will we continue to just have this split between the GFS and everything else? We shall see. We shall see when we do our 12Z update for you. Probably that'll be released on the channel, I would have thought, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, we're going to have USA forecast. I think we'll try and get the February forecast done as well tomorrow. And, of course, we're going to be live streaming from 6 o'clock. And will that be like a beast from the east going to be unleashed live stream? Or will it be, you know, will it be soggy westerly set to return live stream? We'll find out. We'll find out. It's crazy times, isn't it? As it always is when we're trying to get the beastly easterlies going. It's always difficult. Or nearly always, anyway. Right, that's it. I'll see you later on for the 12Z update. That's all for this one. Thanks for watching.